everyone for joining us today. I'm Christy Godwin, Psychic Medium, and meet my beautiful friend, Jess Foster. Thank you for being here, Jess.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now, Jess and I are here to discuss you building a business. I know that I work with so many business owners and they can have these fabulous ideas. I can help them intuitively, but then how do you implement that? So that's what we're here to talk about. Jess and I are also going to be doing a Zoom event on April 18th at 10 a.m. because what I love about Jess is that I will have this idea of what I want to do. And then I have no idea. I'm not a techie person. I can't. So then I call Jess, like, Jess, I have this idea. And then she's like, oh, yeah, you can do this, that. Yeah. Okay. You just make the magic happen, Jess. So, how many people do you have call you, Jess, with these great ideas and they have no idea how to implement them?
How many? Like a day? I would
Right. Exactly. A day.
I don't know. A few. No, I would say a few a week. And then it's a lot of times this all starts sometimes with just helping a friend out. Like, oh no, I need this done or that done. Just a small graphic thing, and I can do it in 2 seconds. So I do that for them, and then, or it's a bigger project where you're like, oh, Jess, I have a campaign that I want to run. Oh, wait, I have this app. How do we advertise it? What do we, then that's how, but you have the good idea. So, I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, the app would be me. So I was at the hospital and MD Anderson. For those of you know, I was doing some treatments down there. I'm building an app, right? So in between treatments, I'm calling Jess. It's like, Jess, I have this app. And instantly, I had not even thought about the next question that was out of her mouth. She says, well, what about your logo? Huh. Yeah, I probably need one of those. So Jess is the one that brings those things to life. And so let's just take the logo for the app that I have. I have a couple of businesses going on for everyone. On here, I have something called the Divine Collective. I have my actual business, and then I was implementing this app. So Jess was able to look across those and build me a logo for the app that was similar to all the other ones. And that was something that really never occurred to me.
That's you're a family of brands, so we all have to look alike. All your little children should look alike.
That's true. I never thought of it that way. All the little children should look alike. Also, something that she does is, I know there's AI now. AI does this, AI does that, but you really need someone who can work with these programs, because can you build something on AI? Yes, but it's not going to be specific to you. Like, you can come up with ideas, but then it's the Jesses of the world that can make them personalized to you.
Sometimes.
So, I want to make sure that I just put, okay. I was making sure the chat, I was looking on here, the chat is, there's some weird things coming across our chat, which I think, do you see those, the chat?
I don't see them. New comments will display here, and then it just has a little. I don't see the.
Okay, maybe it's just on my side that it's coming through. We digress. First, yep. I want to thank everyone who is out there. If y'all have any questions for Jess and I, please ask us. We're also going to be having a live on April 18th at 10 a.m. to ask specific questions and make sure that y'all understand, how do you start a business? How can a psychic help you with a business? And how can the Jesses of the world help? Now, Jess, I want to ask you something that I think people have heard the word, but then they're kind of confused of what it means. What is an SEO? What would you call that?
So, SEO stands for, and I'm honestly learning this more now as I have my own business, because I'm trying to make my site work, and it stands for search engine optimization. So that's basically just when the Googles and they scan your site, or they're looking, someone puts in, okay, I want a psychic medium. And then how many times is that tagged on your site that Google will then pick up on? So then you go higher. So then you want people, like when I search your name, thank goodness, I'm like, you're doing my job. When I do your name, it's like you're like the second thing that comes up in Google. And like that's what you want. So we just optimize. And it's so easy because I'm an art director. I look at, I don't even read. I will look at like like you'll send me stuff and I'll just be like, oh, okay, looks great. But it's like I'm not reading it. I just see them. But like it's, if I can figure out how to go through with Wix and Squarespace and all of those like website programs that people build their stuff in, if I can go through and figure it out, I mean, yeah, I mean it's like easy, but it's a little like it's tedious.
Now, so what Jess will do, I'm glad she brought that up, is my website is built on Wix. And for those of you who aren't familiar, there's different website platforms where you build your website. There's Wix, there's WordPress. What's another Squarespace? What's another popular one? Squarespace.
There was Cargo Collective. I think that one died. But there's a few, but I'd say Wix and Squarespace are two big ones.
So now, whenever you are building so Jess can come in and she can build the structure, and then I will go in there and make little changes, but then you want the Jesses of the world on, and she does have a program where you can do this, where you can just pay her monthly and then call her and say, okay, I have this bigger addition I need made, because I can make small additions to my website, but some of the things are too, I was going to say too complicated. Also, I have a master's in business, right? So I am really good about where do I want to spend my time and where is the most beneficial for me to spend my time. If I can pay the Jesses of the world to do these ads for me, to make changes to my website, they can do it in 10, 15 minutes, something that might take me 2 or 3 hours, because they're so much more familiar with it.
Yeah.
And so you want to really, as a business owner, think about, where is my time most beneficially spent? Also, I can't tell you how many times I have screwed things up and had to call Jess to fix it.
No, you never do. You can always backslide. You never screw it up, but you think you do. You just have to pull a little lever or whatever.
She's being very sweet. I am quite certain that I have screwed it up before. I was like, Jess, oh my gosh, quickly, can you fix this before someone pops on my website and sees it? So, it's really beneficial to have the Jesses of the world on your payroll, so that you can call them. And she does have programs where you can pay a monthly fee, and then she will do all of that for you.
Yeah. And then if you just have like a one-off project or something, it's just reach out to me, because like there's hourly rates you could go to Fiverr and you could do stuff like that. And Christy's done that too, but then you get annoyed because it's like you're always sending stuff out to other designers and you just don't know what you're getting. And like, if I already just know you and have your stuff, like if you're like, I need a tweak and I already know your brand, like I'm very good at like having a split personality, and the way that like I can compartmentalize like each person. Like Geraldine's website is so different than your website, that what I mean? So yeah.
What Jess is talking about, I don't know if anyone out there has ever used this website called Fiverr. It's just so hard because there's so many thousands of people out there and you don't know what you're getting. And what she's talking about is, anytime you have someone do a project for you on Fiverr, you have to email them all of your stuff, and you really don't know what kind of product you're going to get back. So I haven't used them in years just because of that. It was just too much communication back and forth. They weren't understanding what I was saying. And I'm not saying they weren't understanding my language. They weren't understanding what was in my head. So you want to work with someone who understands and can see your vision, basically. Now, Jess is also she's talking one-off projects. I want to talk to everyone about websites because whenever I am working with someone and I'm mentoring them and they want to start a business, a website really gives you it makes you look real. It makes you look like a real business, right? Also, my website's pretty automated. It saves you time. You don't message me to make an appointment. If you message me, it's a back and forth. We have to pick a day, then we have to create a Zoom link on all the things. So my website is created so that you can just go in there and pick your own time. And my website's pretty intricate. There's a lot of pages to it, and it did not start out like that.
Mm-mm.
So if you just is like, yeah, I remember. I've added to it and added to it. Uh,
3 pages, and now we're at 30. It's amazing.
it's true. I mean, and you do start out small. Now,
Well, everyone starts somewhere, and then yeah.
right. And so people think you can do a website, like Jess could build you a branded website, a basic one for what, around $1,500, you think, Jess?
Yeah, I mean, it totally depends on what you need and what you have. If you don't have a logo, if you have a logo, but yeah, let's say 1,500, and that's a really nice looking website. It's not
Right.
gonna.
Right.
It's not. It's designed. The difference that like what drives me nuts is because everything in those templated sites, they're all you'll see now. You guys will it'll drive you nuts when you see sites. You'll go, oh, that's the section. That's the section. And I think I like to break that up. So then, because 70% of the people on websites are on their phone. So you want to keep them interested as they're scrolling. And it's just honestly, I have so much fun doing it. So anyway, but I like
Awesome.
to make things better that way.
Well, I want to bring up what Jess just said because someone has recently contacted me, and it was some young kids, and they said, we want to show you what we can do with your website. So we've done some things. Can we show you? Sure. Shoot your shot, dude. It was completely AI driven, stock photos,
Mm,
AI. You could just tell. There are certain things that, and once you, like all the websites are doing it now, and it's all AI driven, that it was, and you want your website to be individualistic like you. You want your website to match you. And so it was all stock photos.
mhm.
And so I was trying to help these kids out, even though I wasn't planning on, it's like, it needs to be individual. These are all stock photos. I don't do stock photos on my site. Mine are original. And they were just overwhelmed with the process of trying to do. And I did that for a reason because you can't just, can you go to AI and have it? Maybe, but it's not going to be your personality. You want someone who's coming to your site to know you and be able to know what you do for a business and your energy. Hi, Miss Julie. Thank you. Thank you. So glad to see y'all here today. So, for those of you that are just joining, I'm here with Jess. Jess is a creative design person. She is art. Makes websites. She does marketing.
Anything.
Jacqueline.
I'm like an agency. I'm like an ad agency in a box in this live.
She is. She is like an ad agency in a box.
Doing it forever. So I do it all. So
You have been like I don't. So if you go to Jess's website, just what's your website, Jess?
my Foster, what which one? My work like CD
Yeah,
website?
yeah.
JessFosterCD.com. You can see a lot of funny beer commercials. I love making people laugh. So you'll see funny stuff, but then I have my business that I've started, Foster and Co, and that is fosterandco.co. And it's spelled
Um,
out,
Foster, is it ampersand or is it AND?
spelled AND and then co.co.
And this will be in the verbiage of this for to check it out. But when you go to Jess's website, the fosterandco.co, you'll see a lot of things that she's done. I mean, this lady has built commercials and done photo shoots. She can do it all. But she's starting to hone it in on helping businesses. And oh my gosh, my website would not be. And so I'm going to tell you the difference between working with Jess and working with other people, because I didn't meet Jess until I'd already had my business for a while and she revamped it. Someone in the past that I used to work with would argue with me. Like every time I wanted to do something, it was just such an issue and they would argue. Like Jess will give you her opinion, but she's also going to be easy to work with.
Yeah, you're the client. You get what you want, but I'll be honest with you. I'll be like, that's not good, or that's awesome, or whatever.
She will say, I can still hear Jess's voice in my head. Are you sure, Christy?
Huh?
Well,
What?
maybe not. Maybe I'm not sure. It's going to look good.
No, it does. It eventually we figure it out, but it's like a two-way street. It's really, I'm lucky that I can make things. I would feel like freaked out if I needed something made and I didn't know how to do it. I feel
You know,
spoiled.
and you can do just little things like Jess will send you something and you're like, I like it all except for this or that, or something about this is just off and I don't quite know what it is. And Jess will revamp it.
I'll send you versions. Yeah,
Yeah,
as long as you tell me
absolutely.
what you're not feeling, then I'm very intuitive too, so I get it, and
Yes.
I can feel the vibes.
And when I say if I'm not feeling it or something's off with this color or whatever it is, Jess can definitely um, help you out with that. Also, something that Jess does is she's really good about being able to create a campaign around something that you have going. Like if you want to kick something off and you're not quite sure how to do it, she will, because there's so much social media now. I mean, and you have to attack them all differently. There's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and others that I don't even use. And they all have different things around them. And Jess is really good about creating the campaigns that go along with them. Now, something that we're going to be doing on April 18th is whether you have your own business or you're thinking about starting it, bring your questions. Because how it works is I work with so many people that are starting businesses or wanting to expand a business. And I will tap it intuitively and I will say, okay, well, I'm seeing that you're headed in this direction, and then I will tell them what I'm seeing, right? You're doing an offshoot and this is what that looks like. Then Jess can come in and say, this is how we implement that physically. I can very much say, I'm seeing that you need to automate whatever it is you need to automate. I don't know how to do that. I can tell you that I'm seeing that you need to automate, but Jess is the one who comes in and will help you do that. Now, Jess, what do you see when it comes to people doing ads or doing ad campaigns? What is the biggest mistake you see people making?
Mm, well, I don't know if I would say that they are all over the place, that they don't have a brand. It doesn't even have to be, when I say brand, it could just be when you use two colors, you're always using the same two colors. Like you don't even have to have this insane but bitches, I feel like people just do stuff all over the place, or it's a Canva template and that stuff looks nice. I use Canva all the time to grab separate elements and do quicker animations just so I don't have to go into another program. But it's just like, I don't know. I feel like all this stuff looks the same now, and it's a sea of sameness, and I know everything just will get lost. That's what I
Mhm.
kind of see.
That
You
is
know,
exactly what I was talking about earlier for everyone listening when I was talking about how, everyone's trying to do their own things through AI and all of that, but it starts looking the same. Like when you go to my website, none of my pictures on my website are stock. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever use those, but if you're going to, you need to make enough changes to differentiate them. Also,
Yeah.
if you look across my app, my Divine Collective, my website, Jess mentioned this, the colors. Everything has kind of the same feel to it.
Hmm.
I mean, if you think about it, you don't have to have, Jess would probably suggest you having a logo. You don't have to have a logo.
Mm.
Um, my logo has a lot to do with angel wings because they're associated, but it's
Yeah.
important to have something that when people see it, memory. I mean, you can see the Nike swoosh anywhere, and you're going to know that's the Nike swoosh, right?
Yes.
So you want to make sure that you have something in your business that when people see it, they know it's you.
Yeah. Well, that too, and like, why are you different? That's the other thing I see. I
Yes, yeah.
like, okay, great, another this, another that, but like, why are you better than the 18 other things? Like, what makes that's the unique selling proposition? That's the USP that they say. It's like, what is that, and what makes you different? And I need to get that like right away, um, or
Yes.
I'm just gonna keep scrolling. So.
Yes, you're right. And something that Jess just mentioned, I'm going to use different words, but she used techie words and I'm going to use spiritual words. Alignment.
Mhm.
Is your business in alignment with who you are? So that's what Jess was talking about. It has to work across everything so that when people see it, they know you. And if you are constantly using completely different colors or if you're using different graphics constantly, and so what Jess is really good at is it's a different graphic, but enough the same that people know who you are. Now, Jess, when I ask you the question about what do you think it means to be aligned in business when it comes to, because, that's technology and
I don't know. I would say uh, aligned. I would say just that you have all your essentials, right? Like you have
Mhm.
at least somewhere that you can send people. If you're gonna go spiritual, I'll go like the actual tangible things,
Yes,
like an Instagram. You just need an Instagram page and something, some place where people can land. And then if you get a website, great, but I think it's important to have a few places where people can reach you, especially just to make sure you're trustworthy. It's like I feel like catfishing is everywhere in the business
right.
world, in the dating world. And I got scammed by a party planner like 10 years ago, and I'm still mad about it. And like, I'm
Now, Jess, this is something I honestly hadn't asked her up front because my other pages were already set up. I just needed when I met Jess. I needed and my website was set up, but I needed a new one. And so if you do have a website, there's a couple of things. Jess can either make changes to the existing one. What she did is she completely changed mine though. So, behind the scenes, she was working on a second one before we actually published it. Now, do you go in and make people's Facebook and Instagram? Do you also create all those pages for them?
I can like how I do for you, like I could, but I don't know if I have the time, and that's not my time best spent. My time would be like giving you that graphic that you need for the top of the page and a couple little animations. And then I could give you those. And then if you're like, hey, let's talk about possible social posts you think we should do, then that's, yeah, something we could go through. But then I'd make those for you. But would you? I don't think I'd be posting them for you. I wouldn't be like a social media manager.
So now, what if you want to see some of Jess's fun work? I've already gotten the advertisement for this live that we're doing right now. We just talked about it yesterday. And so within a couple of hours, Jess had that done and sent to me. And I've already gotten people messaging me about how cute my new ad was.
Aw.
And so, just go back, look at the advertisement for today's live, and that is totally just his handiwork. What Jess does really well is she does like movement in ads, right?
Yes. Well, I've taught myself recently to do a lot more, and that is what people like see the most. That's what they
Right.
stop on is moving, anything moving. So that now I've learned everything should be moving.
And it was funny because I mean, I just posted it last night and today, and I've already gotten a couple of messages about how cute it was. Who
Aw.
did that? It's so cute. So if anyone's interested, go look for the ad that is across. It's on my TikTok page. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. And Jess did that ad in just a couple of hours. Now, I want to also talk to people about when we do this live on April 18th, please bring your questions because I will read it psychically. I will read the question psychically, and then Jess will be here to tell you how to actually implement that. Now, what
Not
I
not as cool as yours though. Like I'd rather be able to I'll give my psychic interpretation and then
Jess is
yeah.
pretty intuitive.
Not like you. No.
So now I will okay, so here's an example of something, a real world situation that happened the other day, and one that will be happening on my page. Is I was helping someone and they are doing an offshoot to their business. Now, I haven't discussed this with Jess. This is the first time she's
I know.
hearing it.
I'm like,
No, so they were asking me,
on this? Okay.
they have this core business, right? And they said, but I feel like I'm going in the direction. I was like, oh, yes, I can absolutely see this. I said, around the end of the year, I can see you adding this offshoot to your business. And it is kind of related to what they do, but a little bit different. So that's where Jess comes into play. Then she's going to start asking the questions that relate to the technology. Do you want a separate website? Do you want it a separate page on your website? And then she starts talking about how you have all those feed in together. So let's just say, Jess, that someone has this website and okay, let's just say Christy Godwin, psychic medium, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to start offering something new. I'm not really, so everyone listening, I'm not, well, I already offered
Well, I
this.
was like, is this the assignment or no? Okay.
I did just put the finishing touches on a new book, so that, but I don't have it with the publisher yet. I still need to do some work on it. But let's just say, Christy Godwin, psychic medium, that is my core business, but I'm going to start, which I already do, offer hypnotherapy. And I'm with you. It's like, okay, Jess, how do I expand my business to incorporate that? Everyone knows me as a psychic medium. What should I do?
What should you do? Well, you have to promote it, but then you also have to figure out what is that, how are you going to brand it? What is it called? So I think you have to figure out a lot of the fundamental things. And that's what that's what we do. I'm like, all right, what are we calling it? You're like, logo. Oh crap. I'm like, yeah, logo. We remember to do logos. And then I think that's just kind of like the basics, right? And yeah, I just think that yeah, we would just get building on promoting it, but also making it look like really cool, because you don't want to promote something to someone and then they get there and the page is all wonky. So things have to be polished and slick but simple.
Yes. So no, that is something that, and then, so I've been to Jess before where I was like, okay, Jess, I have all this on my website and I do offer quite a few things. And I'll be like, I feel like I want to this month promote whatever it is I'm going to promote. And then I'll go to Jess and be like, okay, this is already on my site, but I think I want to get more of these appointments. How would I promote that? And then she's like, oh, well, then you can have, I was trying to think, the most recent one was my app.
Was your app? I think, yeah, we made a couple of videos and then you did some posts and then had a designated spot on your homepage, I believe. And then maybe a call out too. I was hitting them.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yep.
she hit everyone in all different areas. So I went to her with this app. I'm telling you, getting treatment, and I'm calling Jess. And so first she's like the logo. And so then we knocked that out. And when I say we, I mean Jess did by sending me different logos. And I was be like,
Yeah, but like you're a good client. You're not like wah, wah, wah. Like you're just like, oh, that looks cool. I like that. But what if that didn't have this? And then you put it together, and I was like, oh my, it's a good thing we got
that's what
going on.
happened. So Jess sent me several logos, and I said to her, I like this out of this logo, this out of this one, but I want it to be more like that. And she's like, okay. Within a day, I had it. I think it was within hours because I was still in treatment when you sent it to me.
Stand by. I'm not. Yeah.
And the reason I remember that is because the nurse was coming in like, what are you doing? I'm having a business meeting. Clearly. So then after that, and Jess is really good about, because you can be overwhelmed whenever you are kicking a new business off or building a business. And so she's really good. Okay, Christy, step one, you need a logo. Oh, yeah. I was already down the road. Like I was 10 miles down the road, right? And Jess is like, oh, yeah. Let me come back to step one and get this logo.
Yeah.
So we got the logo. And then she's like, okay, then step two is let's build a page. And then she asked me, how do she gave me different options of how to connect the Divine Insight app page to my existing page. Do you want it to be a different website on its own? Do you want it to be a drop down? She gave me the options and she gave me her opinion. And then I chose.
I think it was just a whole new page, right?
Yeah.
It deserves its own page.
And that's what she said. It deserves its own page. So then she will build it into your site, but it's hidden until it's finished because, like she said, you don't want it to be wonky, right?
Right.
So when she was adding it, the general public couldn't see it until it was published because she makes sure it's polished and tested before before anyone sees it.
And the fun thing is I can send you preview links too, and you can just refresh. Yeah. So like, no, look what I did. I just had that with another client. Yeah. And she was like, it doesn't look different. I was like, refresh. She's like, oh, you redid it, so it's a constant live update too with that stuff, which is cool. Technology.
And so also, we've used me as an example. I know we've done a lot of, psychic medium stuff, but Jess has done websites and businesses for beer companies.
Well, I haven't done sites for them, but I've done commercials and stuff. But yes, that would be crazy. But lots of different sites like landscape, realtors, interior designers. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a brand is a brand. So the soda company, that's so much fun that I'm having such a blast. I'm having fun doing that right now. So yeah, it doesn't matter like what you're advertising. It's just what's your idea. Like my lawyer, my divorce attorney, paying off that bill with her. It's interesting. It's a fun website, and she's an attorney, so we're having fun with it.
And you need to, I really encourage us when I'm working with anyone, you need to make yourself look professional because there's so many catfishers out there. Like if you go, and I tell people all the time, thank you, Marcy. Thank you. I tell people all the time that I will never contact you on social media. So if someone contacts you and says, I'm Christy Godwin, I'd like to offer you a reading. No, ma'am. No, sir. Mm-mm. Go to my website.
Time they did that to you? Like you got like, it was insane.
People still do it. So, you need a professional landing page, whatever that looks like. And I know it can be overwhelmed. If I'd had to build my own website, people think about, they want to be a psychic medium, or they want to be an attorney, or they want to have a landscaping business. You can be kick-ass good. But if you don't have a way for your clients to interact with you, you're not going to grow your business. And that's where Jess comes in. That's so, and Jess is going to meet with you and really pick your brain about what that looks like for you. There have been times where I have said to Jess, I don't care, do what you think. And she will. But, when it comes to logos and things like that, of course, I'm going to I want a say in that
Yeah.
because it's going to reflect me. But there's some things I just don't care about. And then I give free reign to Jess to do whatever she wants. So you can give her free reign and she comes back. You don't like it, she'll make whatever changes it is.
That was what I just did for our thing, the advertisement. That was a free rainer. It's not that you didn't care, but you're like,
I didn't. I
just
didn't
have
care.
the picture together. And I was like, all right. And I did it in the car on the way as my son was driving to sports.
She did. I gave it. And it appeared in my inbox
Oh,
just a couple of hours later. I was like, I don't care. And she was asking me questions about I don't care. Do what you want. I don't care.
which one?
And then it came up and it
Get
was,
trust that way too with a client. Like you eventually get trust, and it's just
yes,
easier ways. Because
they
no
do.
one likes to be micromanaged any direction. Like, I don't, no one likes a client to be like, move that over or do this and like be on you. It's like, then you should have told me that in the beginning, ma'am.
There is absolute trust there. And one thing I would tell that's great about Jess is sometimes I don't know. Like she'll ask me a question about, Christy, do you want it to look like this? Or I don't know. I need to see it. And so then she will do a rough draft. Like it won't be completely, polished, but she'll be like, okay, this is what it looks like if we go this way. And this is what it looks like if we go that way. Because sometimes people like me, we need the visual. And Jess is so easy to work with when it comes to that.
Well, it's worth it. And well, I'm visual too. So honestly, I need to mock it up myself too to see as well. And then usually we end up coming up with something a little of the two, or it's
Yeah.
just it's how it works.
That was how the logo, it was so funny about the logo that she just developed for me. And it was a couple of months ago for the Divine Insight app, is that, she sent me a couple of things. I was like, I don't know. And honestly, poor Jess, like I always feel bad for her when I do this because I was like, I kind of like this, but I like this, but I want it to be more like that. Okay, I got it. And I'm in my head, I'm thinking, I'm glad you got it because I have no idea what I just said. And then it comes back. Oh, yeah, that is what I wanted.
That's exactly it.
Yes, I don't know how you pulled that out of my head, but good job.
I did. Well, I know how to tap into your energy, so I get there.
Jess is very intuitive, which does help because she can intuitively lean into you and kind of follow the energy and figure out what you are talking about or what you want. Now, please join us on April 18th. Come with your actual business questions. I will tap them intuitively. I will give you my psychic opinion on them. And then Jess can figure out the actual implementation of them. Now, Jess, do you have any last minute parting words that you would like to talk about before we head out?
No, I've had a blast though. I can't wait for our Zoom event.
I would like everyone watching to ask themselves a question and sit with it, and then bring the answer to the Zoom event on April 18th at 10 a.m. Is what idea are you sitting with that you have not moved on? I want y'all to think about that and bring it to the Zoom event. Okay, very good. Before we leave, let's answer this question. I'm thinking about starting a business completely out of my experience. How do I know if my drive is more of a dream or possible? Very good. I'm going to kick it off and then I'm going to hand it over to Jess. Okay, so now I get this question a lot because kind of like it because I teach psychic mediumship. And how do you know if you're in your ego, which means you just created this pipe dream, or if it's actually something you can do? You start by, is it constantly coming? Is it something that whenever you think about this business, you have a dream, like it just, you can't get it off your mind. Your heart starts beating. That's all you can think about is, I want to do that. I want to do that. And then you have to think about gathering information from people who do know about it. Okay, so now for this person who is ask the question, can they put it in the chat real quick what their business is, like what they want their business to be that they're wanting to start, but they don't have any experience with. Let's see if they're going to put that in there. Okay, so as they are tapping in there, okay, so what I'm hearing is that this person may not actually have any experience running a business that they want, like they're talking about running, but they've partaken of the business. What does that mean? Let's just say that they want to open a restaurant and they've never actually run a restaurant, but they've been to eat at plenty of restaurants, right? That kind of thing. So they might not have run a business, a wellness spa.
Ooh.
Very good. Okay, so for one thing, whenever I read that, yes, like
I'm
my body instantly just, yes. And she just said in here that she's been to a lot of them, which is actually very beneficial because she's been to the competition. So now she knows what to pull. Like, I liked this about this spa, and I didn't like it about this one. I liked it about this spa and not about this one. Okay, so Jess, if someone comes to you and they're like, okay, I want to start this wellness spa,
Mhm.
what would be their first step? What would you ask them about?
Say, okay, well, what's it called? What are you thinking about? Oh, I have this. Oh, okay. Do you have a logo or any thoughts? Yeah, and then usually most people have logos or things that they like, and so they'll send, oh, this is cool, that's cool. And I'd ask them that, and then have you written anything? But before I'd get in, but I'd also wondering like positioning, because a lot of the times the way that you concept the logo is positioning of the business. So if you have a wellness spa that just is like fancy state of the art because of these crazy UV lights, then I'd want that somehow incorporated visually into the design of the logo. So there are like things I got to know too, than rather just like generic wellness spa, things. But that's how you just do smart advertising, and just it just all has to link back to that core idea. And then once we get that, and then I see a couple things, it's like off to the races. It's easy. That's my fun time. That's when I have fun.
She said, name an idea of logo and color theme surrounding water. So, do you have a name picked out? So this is where like Jess starts asking more specific questions. Also, what I was seeing as Jess is talking about this, and I'm not sure if this is what the person wants, is you walk in and I'm seeing a lot of earthy tones. Like I'm seeing a lot of woodwork. I'm seeing just a lot of wood to make it warm. I'm also seeing a beautiful chandelier as you enter in. So, what I'm seeing intuitively is when you hit the door of this place, the second you open the door, it is going to just reek of class and warmth.
Ooh,
So, this is how, when you're working with a psychic,
that's
yes,
fancy.
still waters. Very good.
Oh, and then I like it already.
See, she's already getting you got Jess's juices flowing.
I have like 8 ideas right now. But
So
mm.
very good. So now what Jess would do is she would take these ideas and she would say, okay, this is my concept, and send them to Marcy. And then Marcy would be like, poor Jess, she'd probably be like me with the latest logo. I
I'll
like
be
this one here. I
cheering
like this. And then Jess works her magic and creates the logo. And then, so now as we are, okay, so now they Still Waters is the name that I think that she had chosen. Now, what came to me intuitively as I hit that is, and I don't know the name of the fragrance, but I would definitely like look it up for this person, is we were in Ireland traveling, and this one cologne, like everything smelled like that, was a very popular fragrance over there. And every time I wear that, I get compliments on it. And so I would talk to this person about, okay, you need to explore that smell, because that would be like if you can find an incense or something that is close to that, that's something you want to incorporate into the business.
That is so smart. See, that's the stuff that you pick up on that no one thinks about, but you're smelling like I bet I know that you can smell that like
They
right now.
can, yes. And that's
Uh,
how I knew, is because Spirit used Claire Alliance and gave me the smell. Have you
so
already?
I looked up stillwater.com. Like I've already like, are these URLs available? Like I've already, as you were telling that story, I'm like doing
I
my
could tell that she was doing, yeah. So now this is what, I'm capping this intuitively. Now Jess is often running with, okay, Still Waters, is that available? I hadn't even thought to check. Is it available? Is it available, Jess?
no, because there's a brewery, but there are other things like you would say Stillwater Spa or whatever, or however you want it.
Right. So these are things that and you'd probably want spa in the name anyway, because you want it to be identifiable.
Yes.
Like, I don't like it when I look at businesses and Still Waters. Like, have you ever seen an ad or something and you cannot figure out what they're advertising?
Yeah. Well, perfume ads are, they're just weird looking, but it's like for cologne. And it's like a guy who's like a dolphin too. And you're like, why is a guy a dolphin for cologne? Like, as someone in advertising, that's infuriating to me. But so my question is for Still Waters for Marcy, now that I'm thinking about it. So, what is it that you're going to do at your spa that's going to make you like, what's your thing? Like, what is your hey,
Niche.
yeah, like it's Still Waters, like we specialize in this, or no men allowed. Like that's our, whatever. Like that's another thing to think about, because then that inherently like is the thread line throughout all of your content, everything, because it all should ladder up to what your business idea is.
Okay,
So
so the first thing I'm getting, so this is where, see, Jess is up. Poor me and Jess were like, dun, dun, dun. I'm off on the psychic. She's off on this build this sucker. So I am envisioning when you walk in, instantly I have that one smell that I was talking about. I'm seeing a lot of earth tones and lots of wood, like, but nice wood. I'm seeing a chandelier hanging. I'm seeing cucumber water off to the side just as you step in. I'm also seeing a water feature, like I'm seeing a water wall with the water coming down. And then we need to think about, okay, so now niche. What could be their niche? I don't know. Marcy, do you already have a niche?
or who's the target? Like, what's your key target that you're trying to hit? It could be a new spot for preteen girls that all want to get all done up for birthday parties. That's not it, but
Right, 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 right. I was like, what are we doing here? So
idea. Maybe okay.
water
What?
features, grotto seeing area, massage, facial, red light. Very good.
Nice.
So now this is where I was like, even reading that, I was like, okay, I'm feeling something a little bit different. Yes, offer all of that stuff. But what I am hearing, and this is where I would, psychically, I talk through the owner or Jess or whoever I'm working with, is so many people go to, okay, it just came to me. That's what I was getting. Okay, so many people go to spas, and it's just an event we go to. We treat ourselves. How about if we normalize going to spas, right? We normalize being pampered. So that could be your theme.
That's your campaign idea. That's a
Yeah,
good
that's the campaign idea. Let's normalize treating ourselves, except you wouldn't say treating ourselves. Let's normalize. And then, between the business owner or Jess, we come up with the exact terminology. But that's
Mhm.
what I'm hearing the spa needs to be about. We're going to now normalize. I mean, how often, I haven't been to a spa. I mean, I've gone to acupuncture, maybe had a massage, but those are more wellness things that physically I need just to be pampered. I mean, people do it once a year. Our room for specialty events like Christie's event.
Yeah.
We do it once a year. So I'm hearing around this somehow we need to incorporate, let's normalize pampering ourselves. Except I don't like those words. And so we'd have to come up with something different.
I mean, it's something, yeah, it makes me think of like, I was just thinking about like, so De Beers, they were the ones that invented the engagement ring. Like that was never a thing. That was a marketing campaign. There was a wedding band, and then De Beers is like, why not? And they took it for a whirl, and now we'll look at what happened. So it's
Right.
just
Who gets married without an engagement ring anymore, right?
right.
So that was brilliant. So yes, that's the kind of thing. This is where, when you put your head together with Jess, it might not, you talk through ideas. Okay, how can we make this stand out? What is going to be the niche? And then right out the door, so you can see the stuff we've already talked about. Right out the door, you make yourself different because you want to slam the market with what makes you different and your beautiful advertisement. So instead of just having pieces, Jess will have maybe 20 pieces of artwork and ads to give to you so that you can funnel them through when it's necessary or when it
Mhm.
works.
Yeah, like in
Thank you.
Canva. Yeah, we do it in Canva. How you and I we can share things in Canva with each other.
Yes.
I can even
Yes.
edit them, and I can build them, and
Hmm.
and then you can do what you need to. So
Yes.
yeah.
So now a lot of times, Pam's on there. Don't worry so much. Right. Jess and I just built this business for Marcy. There you
I
go. Now
know.
we
Pam's
just need that fun. Yeah, Pam can do the massages in the back.
oh,
Um, so that's and whenever if it's something that is very intricate, what will happen is yes, I might tell Jess, I might have something in Canva, or she might have sent me something in Canva. And then she'll be like, okay, now I have to take it out of Canva because Canva only has so much capabilities.
hmm
And Jess has access to so much more. And then she will send it to you, email it, and y'all can work through it like that. Thank
Right.
you, Marcy. Thank you, Marcy, so much for allowing us to play with the idea of your spa. Love the name. We appreciate it. Being able to answer those questions. Now, if anyone has a business idea, come in to our Zoom event. It's on April 18th at 10 a.m. Again, I want everyone here to sit with the question of what idea have you had? Like I can feel when Marcy put that in there, I could feel this idea has just been burning within her, right? And I can see her keep pushing it to the back and then it creeps up and then she pushes it to the back and then it creeps up. That's how you know it's something that is really on your heart to accomplish. Also, Marcy's right. You want to have your ducks in a row, right? You want to make sure that you are creating a business that is well planned out and has marketing behind it. Nowadays, you can't create a business without some kind of marketing plan. All right. I want to thank everyone for joining Jess and I. Please come see us on April 18th, 10 a.m. Bring your questions. It's held via Zoom. So you do have to go to my website to register. It's under the events. Register so you can get that Zoom link. You can check Jess out at Foster and Company, it's CO, fosterandco.co. Check out her beautiful work. All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.